Alright, welcome race fans once again back to MaxSpeedTV. Tonight is going to be a very interesting race, and we keep saying tonight, it's actually this afternoon. We are bringing you the TND Short Track Series Championship Race, presented by MaxSpeedTV.com. Again, this is the championship race here tonight. So real fast, while we have it up there, we're going to put up a brand new ticker that we have here for tonight's race. That is our playoff ticker. You will see underneath people's names, if they have a chance of any kind here to win the championship, it will say championship contender underneath their name. Before we get to all of that, though, we want to go through all the sponsors here, of course, that do help us do what we do best on Max Speed TV. Of course, SimSpeedShop.com. Big shout out to them for coming on board. If you need a button box to just kind of propel your iRacing career that much further in, definitely check them out at SimSpeedShop.com or just on their Facebook page at SimSpeedShop. Don't forget HRE Motorsports and Elite 7 Racing. Big shout out to those two teams for coming on board with us here on Max Speed TV. And of course, Ohio IndyCar League. If you're looking to have some great IndyCar racing and you are on iRacing in the Ohio club, check them out. Again, Josh Medlock will be in the booth here in just a second, getting some last minute stuff taken care of. He will be broadcasting that league coming up soon. So definitely make sure you tune in for that, as we will also be covering that league. Always, of course, TJ Woodworking. He will be making the plaque for the champion of this series here tonight. He did the one for the 360 series. We'll be posting a picture of that shortly. We didn't want to spoil it for the champion, Gabe Glatfelter, though. He should be getting that shortly. Awesome looking plaque. We'll be posting that as soon as we know he does have his. So we don't spoil that surprise for him. And of course, TND Rustic Decor, they're the title sponsor for this series, and they were the 360 series, and of course they will be as well for the brand new series. It's going to be the TND Super Sport series. Going to be running the Monte Carlo SS Super late model at the Bull Ring. That's coming up starting April 9th. So make sure you get registered at nessracing.net/register. So again, that is nessracing.net/register. But again, we are just about ready here to get things started. We got about a little over 13 minutes to go. But before we do, we also want to go ahead and get a word with Josh here for just a second. First off, Josh, welcome to the booth. You might be still getting your stuff set up there, not sure, but are you looking forward to some great racing here again this afternoon?
Oh yeah, I always look forward to some short track racing. It's fun to watch these guys pull 100 laps in, and girls, because you can't forget Rachel Hunt, who's also in the picture for the potential championship as well. 100 laps on short tracks will go by quickly. These guys have got their hands full here at Five Flags. Should be some good racing. Of course, it's going to be a lot of, paint scraping and bumper-to-bumper action, but should be make for a good race overall.
I definitely think it will as well. A lot of great drivers here. But again, it's the championship race. This is the last race of the season here tonight. So it's going to be real interesting to see who comes on top. Again, you can see there are 4 drivers we consider still technically in championship contender form. It's going to be real tough for some of them. We really kind of narrowed it down right now to the top 2 as we pull up the point standings real fast. Really, Brian Jones here, he's the leader. Chuck Kemper, he's 3 points out. So those are probably your best bet for the championship here tonight. And we were talking with the league owners earlier, and kind of going over what would happen if a tie came out. And the way it's going to go, it will be based off of their wins, and then if there's a tie there, if Chuck Kemper does win today, then it would go to their average finish for the season. So that's how it's going to be. But, there's always that chance here, Josh, that, they could both wreck out on lap 1 here. And if they do, there's a possibility that Aaron Maspero could possibly get it. And if he wrecks out, very early in the race, lap 1 or 2, there's a good chance that Rachel Hunt could possibly get it, only 18 points out of the lead.
Yeah, it's a very big possibility. Rachel Hunt is not that far behind. She is only, like you said, 18 points behind. Aaron Maspero, who's currently sitting in the 3rd spot, he's right behind, Chuck Kemper. But, although the points, there may be a big gap per se in the points, it's still really anybody in the top 4's championship, because one slip up will really, really hurt the top 2.
It definitely could. As we got about 12 drivers, so not the biggest field we've seen, but that is enough to get some damage done. That may possibly eliminate Rachel with only 12 drivers. Excuse me. So the most she could possibly get would be 43 points. With these other guys here, they will make points as well. So I don't think right now she has much of a chance at it. But again, your top 3 do. But you don't want to count anybody out as far as good battling. You got Trey Galgon, 41 points out, but Caleb Weekly still 44 points out. So those two, 248 points to 245 points, they're still right there together. And you can see throughout the points, you got 12th and 13th right now, Jason McSperrin and Shahil Mustak. Those guys are actually tied for 12th. So we still have a lot of battles throughout the field.
Yes, we do.
I'm not sure. Hopefully you got your iRacing sorted out, having some minor technical problems over there. But that is with computers. They do sometimes don't want you to work when you want to work, so we have to get those sorted out. But again, it's going to be a good race. I don't see this race event lasting very long at all. With 12 cars, we probably will have maybe 1, possibly 2 cautions, but I think we're going to go green flag racing quite a bit here, as I'm not seeing too many people getting out of shape or loose here in practice.
Well, I'm not seeing really much of nothing right now, as my iRacing is not wanting to go to full screen. There it goes, finally. So, I'm having some major difficulties over here.
Well, like I say, computers will be computers, as we just watched the 87 of Landon Heidi going around there. But again, I don't expect too many cautions here tonight, as we'll put up our driver bar here, another new addition to it. If it's not on the ticker there, we can also go to our driver bar, and you'll be able to see who's in the championship hunt here for that points championship. But we're going to keep a close eye on those front 2 all night. But that being said, we are also going to, of course, keep an eye on the rest of the field. We're not going to try to keep them on TV too much. We want to get these other drivers. Scott Page is doing really good here. He's one of the newer drivers to this series. As lately, we've picked up a few more. Obviously, this league doesn't allow new drivers to come in on the last championship race. We don't want anyone coming in, not saying they would mess it up, but, that late in the race, you're not running for points, so we don't let them in. So that is the reason a few of the new guys are not here. But Season 2 is looking to be a very good season.
Yes, it is, and I'm still messing with this over here. But yeah, I mean they've had a very good season this year, and they're still they've got this race to go. They're still working to see who's going to come out with the victory here tonight, and it's going to be really, really close between the top 2 of Brian Jones and Chuck Kemper. That's who's 1 and 2. So you're going to have to really watch them 2, but you're really going to also have to watch Aaron Maspero and Rachel Hunt as well, because they're right there. They do have a chance.
Yes, they really do. So I really don't know who's going to win this. I mean, if you look at Brian Jones and Chuck Kemper in the last couple of races, especially last week, neither one of them had an outstanding race. I'm sure both of them would have loved to have a much better race. So, it's just really surprising. You're looking at first and second place in points. 1 win between the 2 of them. That's it. And we've had 9. This is the 9th race. So 1 win goes to Brian Jones. Chuck Kemper won last season. for the championship, has won quite a few races last season, but so far this season hasn't won a single race. Oh, you know, it just goes to show how much of a competitiveness has come to this league in the one season. A lot, and you got a lot of these guys from the UK that are out here running these trucks, and they're loving it. They love these short tracks with these trucks, and they're showing that, you know, while truck racing may be, you know, kind of an American thing, you could say. I think it started over here anyway. They're no slouches at it. They know what they're doing, and these guys work together, and they come in here, and they're forced to be reckoned with.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
It looks like we got about 5.5 minutes. See who we can't pull in here to the booth with us real fast so we can't get a quick interview in. Let's pull see if we can't get Aaron here. Aaron, you got a copy?
I am here, yeah.
Well, let's get a quick interview with you here. We see you're pulling out onto the track. I'm not sure how good your chances are here, but we have you in there listed on the overlays anyway as a championship contender. You know, if everything just goes horribly wrong for the front two, you could lead the most laps, lead a lap, get that clean race. You still have a shot at winning the championship here tonight. You know, if everything plays in your favor, and so far, if I do remember, you've won like 3 or 4 in a row now. So you do have a good shot, in my opinion, to walk away with it, as it would be, your 4th win. So as far as this track goes here at Five Flags, what do you think your chances are of getting into 5th race in a row to pick up a victory?
Yeah, you know, short track racing. I mean, as you say, mathematics have got a chance for the championship, but to be honest, Brian would have to have a complete nightmare for that. So we're bringing a bit of a development set tonight, ready for next season. I think we've still probably got a good chance, but have to see how it plays out.
Well, just kind of curious, we see you got the Miller Genuine Draft on there, so you know, if by some chance you pull out a 5th win in a row to make it 5 in a row to end the season, are you going to be having some of that Miller Genuine Draft here to celebrate?
Oh, I certainly will. Yeah, I think it's been a good season all round, so win or lose tonight, it'll be a bit of a celebration at the end, and then start getting ready for next year.
Next year going to be a great season. We've already got a few more drivers that have already signed up, and I'm sure more will come here in the off season for about a week. So looking forward to we have the off week, but we have that money race coming up for the league members. So have you been gearing up for that at all? See if you can't bring home some cash.
Yeah, well, I did the non-points race at Bristol earlier of the year and won that. So we'll just try and keep the form going, and yeah, see what we can do. Well,
hopefully, you know, with any luck, we'll see the first time ever somebody to win 5 races in a row here with this series. But any quick shout-outs or sponsors you want to give?
No, we're good, I think. Thanks. We'll keep that for afterwards, hopefully.
All right. Well, again, hopefully we'll see you in the booth after the race, and see if you can't make it 5 in a row, but we'll get you back down to the pits, and we're about 3 minutes away from qualifying.
Good, man.
All right, again, that was a quick word in with Aaron Maspero, who is technically in the hunt here. Again, things would have to play out very perfectly for him tonight in order to walk away with the championship. So we will keep an eye on him. You never know what's going to happen. We're really going to be keeping an eye on those front two. But again, I'm just really not sure who's going to come away with this, Josh.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. It's gonna be, you know, very, very tight throughout the whole race. You know, you've got two of the top guys up there, Brian Jones and Chuck Kemper. You know, they're still out here, you know, doing what they need to do to figure out the track here at Five Flags Speedway. Very, very short track. This track is not very big. So it's going to be real close. It's only a half mile in diameter. You know, it's 0.5 miles. So it's only a half mile. Of course, you've got the regular 04 turns here. And, you know, the good thing about, you know, short track racing, though, especially with your league, here, and the owners, coming on with the, you do get one reset, so that does help, but you really don't want to use it early, because then that puts you in a situation to where you're gonna have to be careful, as we've seen the last couple of races. Unfortunately, certain people had to use them early, which hurt them in the long run. But hopefully they can, get it all squared away, and we can go 100 laps green flag, and have a show for everybody out there.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be a good show, as it looks like we have about a minute to go here. So we are going to step away real fast here and get to the national anthem. So we'll be right back here. We'll be a little bit into qualifying, but we'll be back with your national or with qualifying right after your national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, with qualifying, as we're watching Andy Oakley spin out there here in qualifying. Again, a lot of drivers out on track right now. Rachel Hunt putting in one of her laps again. She is one of the championship contenders here tonight. Sitting right back in 5th position, or 6th position now. She's going to drop to 7th. But Chuck Kemper up to the top of the charts right now with a 15.725 .074 over the points leader, Brian Jones. So they're right there together. And there goes your 3rd place driver, Aaron Rispero, just ran a faster time with a 15.551.
Yeah, they're putting down the laps that they need to put down, folks. I mean, get up there, get ahead, get the clean air, and make some space between you and the cars behind you. That's going to be the key here at Five Flags here tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, for this race. They're fighting for a championship, so it's a no holds barred match really out there, going to be on the track. But they're going to have to be careful, because 100 laps will go by quick. You don't want to destroy the truck, just on lap 1. You keep it clean and just be patient.
Yeah, you definitely do want to keep it clean. And noticing here as we're going, this is a night race. You got quite a bit of light on the backstretch, but going into the corners, it is awfully dark. Especially coming out of turn 4, it's extremely dark. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on these drivers going into these corners and out of the corners, as it gets quite dark for these drivers trying to get around this track. Looks like everyone has just about qualified, though.
Yeah, I do believe they have. I'm looking at the qualifying, and It looks like everybody who's going to be putting in a time has put in a time. I believe everybody has actually put in a time. So
Yeah, there is one driver that hadn't. Andy Oakley has not put in a time. He did go out on the track, but he spun out and hit the wall, so his time didn't count. So everyone has come out, but everyone does not have a lap in per se. So he's the only one that doesn't, just now catching that one. But other than him, everybody has. So we're just about ready to get started here with about a minute 45 to go. So any predictions on your end, who might be walking away with the win here tonight?
well, it's really anybody's race out here. But if I had to put my money on anybody, or I'm not really the gambling type, but if I had to put my money on anybody, I would actually watch the top 3. To be honestly, but I'd keep an eye on Rachel Hunt too, because if she gets the win and the top 3 guys, have a bad race, Rachel Hunt may pull off the upset here. Not only get the win, if she can get the win, but she might get the championship.
She could indeed, and she's been improving just week in and week out. She gets so much better, especially she was always good, of course, but watching her progress from her first season here to now. And she's even said her biggest thing is she used to let people just kind of get by her. They caught her, and she'd let them go. She doesn't do that anymore. She'll race you to the very end, and she's doing a fantastic job doing that here tonight. So I do look to see her putting up a battle, especially be sitting 4th in points, as we got about 9 seconds here before we get going. So got only 14 cars here tonight, so not a very long grid here. So if you want, once we hit to the grid, if you want to run through that lineup for us, since there's not too terribly many, we will get that graphic up on the screen for you.
All right, well, when you're ready to rock and roll, we can go through this.
All right, let's do it. Here is your HRE Motorsports starting grid.
All right, grabbing the pole for the finale for the TND Short Track Series here this season will be Aaron Maspero. Congratulations on him for grabbing the pole with a 15.551. Chuck Kemper, who is in second in the points, is going to be outside row 1 with a 15.725. Doug Pickering going to be starting in 3rd. Brian Jones in 4th. Trey Galgon in 5th. Ed Saul is going to be starting in the 6th spot. Scott Page in 7th. Rachel Hunt in 8th. Going to have to watch her in the number 16 machine. Brett Osborne going to be starting 9th. Caleb Weekly in 10th. Landon Heidi in 11th. Jason Deere going to be starting 12th. Carl Hives in 13th. Andy Oakley in 14th. And that'll do it for the starting grid here.
It's, again, probably the shortest field we've had here, but by means, it's not short, especially once you get this tiny, tiny little track. Again, we'll pull up here the playoff grid for you real fast, and we're looking here. You look, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 3 of your 4 championship contenders starting in the first 2 rows. So that is going to make it very interesting. Again, if something happens to these front guys early in the race, sitting back there is Rachel Hunt, and she will capitalize off that starting in 8th position right now, as they're just about ready. Everyone is on grid, so Andy Oakley just, again, had a spin there in qualifying, so he did not put a lap in, but he is going to be starting with us here tonight.
Yeah, and here we go, folks. I believe you'll get 2 laps on pacing, so you'll have 2 laps to kind of get familiar with the truck they're in, and then of course they'll go green. But yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I get a little heat in those tires. You may see some people, kind of swerving back and forth, trying to clean them a little bit, get some heat in them. As you see, Trey Galgon doing it just a little bit here. But these guys want to get some heat in those tires if they can, as they are going to be very cold coming from the start. As you're right, one more lap away, so it gives them extra laps just to again warm them up, and then we'll go racing for the first time here in the race, the championship race, and that will conclude it. We'll see if we can't get a word in with the champion as well, runner-up, and of course our top 3 in the interview, and they could be one and the same.
Yeah, they could be. You know, it could be all one and the same, or it could just be a shocker to everybody.
Yeah, anything is possible. We never know who's going to win, who's going to be the champion. And again, it looks like they are just about ready there. Pace car has dove off, and there it is. Green flag is out for the first time here. 100 laps is what they have, and it's going to be very quick. It's not going to take very long at all.
No, it's not. Look at the jump. Aaron Maspero in the number 41 machine has got on the 40 of Chuck Kemper, but Chuck Kemper is going to be right there behind him. And, you know, it's so short of a track, you really want to keep on the tail end of the car in front of you, because the further that the leader really gets, it's harder to catch them. You know, you're going to go a lap down really, really quick.
Yeah, you really are. You don't want to go a lap down. Especially if you're up here battling for a championship. That's the last thing you want to do. Is these guys are going to be taking it easy. I have a feeling we're not going to press too many issues here. Really seeing a huge gap between first and second now, as Chuck Kemper and Aaron Maspero have both kind of pulled away just a little bit over Brian Jones in third place, as we're looking the gap .766 between first and third, only .333 between first and second. So Chuck Kemper right on the back bumper, really, of the leader, Aaron Maspero, but still Aaron Maspero is actually pulling away from him again.
Yes, he is. He has got now a little over half a second lead on Chuck. But, you know, it's still a long race. You know, they still got a lot of laps to put down, and they got plenty of time to do it in. I'm sure they're going to have to pit at least 1 or 2 times for fuel, maybe tires. I'm not sure what the setup is on that, but I'm sure they're going to have to pit.
Yeah, they run 15% fuel, so they will have to pit for fuel at least once. And as far as tires go, they're going to be wanting those fairly quick. I'm sure this track will eat them alive right now. As we'll look, and we'll keep an eye on there. Right now, we're on lap 8. Again, 15.713 is their fastest time. 15.8 is what they're running right now. So not much of a wearing off at the moment here. As we'll look back to Trey Galgon, he's got his hands full right now with the 81 of Ed Sauls. Ed Sauls on the outside, having a much better run right now in 6th place. He has not had good finishes here lately. When he has had to make them work, has kind of got in the way of racing here. But he's having a better finish, or start anyway, so far, than he has in his last couple of races.
Yeah, it is good to see him out here running with these guys again. Yeah, you know, when real life comes into effect, you know, it kind of keeps you from from racing, and they understand, and I'm sure everybody understands that, you know, you got to work, you got to make money, you got to make a living, you know, got to support your family. So, you know, hats off to Ed Sauls for doing what he has to do to make what he can, and you know, it's good to see the D81 back out here. But yeah, he's got his hands full still with Trey Galgon, just pushing the daylight out of him behind him in the number 49. I mean, Trey Galgon's just right there. He just can't seem to get that run on the inside, as the 81 of Ed Sauls does tap the wall. Not a whole lot of damage on that truck. I mean, he just barely tapped it, and it's not really going to affect the speed here at this track, because it's not a super speedway. It's not a 1.5 mile speedway at all. It's just a short track, so really you just got to worry about the handling here at
yeah, definitely. And those two are still not doing it out. And, you're speaking to people that you got to worry about. You got to, provide for the family. That is always more important than any sim or game or anything like that. But someone who doesn't have to worry about a whole lot, who just got passed by Andy Oakley, again, who did not qualify, that is the youngster Brett Osborne. The biggest worry this kid has is if he wakes up before noon or if he wakes up before 9 a.m. So not a whole lot to worry about. But he also has not made as many races here. That is because he actually races in real life. So he's been off racing go-karts, so hasn't made as many races as he probably would have liked here, but did finish second out of 54 drivers in the dirt sprint cars on Monday night. So one heck of a driver here to be hanging on right now to a top 10 finish.
He is currently running into the 8th spot in the number 9 machine there. He's got, like you said, Andy Oakley in front of him. Behind him in the 96 is Carl, I believe you pronounce his last name, Hayes?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. You know, he's back here just kind of pacing himself, you know, just not really pushing any issues right now. You know, they're going to be coming to, you know, lap 20 here. They're going to have 80 to go. I mean, 80 laps, that's still a lot of laps, but they're putting them down, and Rachel Hunt is already a lap down as, you know, Aaron Maspero, I guess, and Chuck Kemper go around her.
It did, and while we was watching that, the 45 of Jason Deere got into the outside wall. So he knows these guys are battling for a championship, as you see him let the 21 of Brian Jones by fairly easily. Again, it was discussed in a pre-race drivers meeting as the first caution comes out that they're not to just let these guys by, but he was a lot down, so obviously he was just going to let him by. As we'll take a look and see who the caution was for. I don't see anyone. Andy Oakley, so let's go back and take a look. What happened here to Andy Oakley to go around? Nobody's around him. Yep, there you're right. Right there, you see him right as you said it. Just lost it, and Carl Hayes almost getting into the outside wall, avoiding him. But did a fantastic job to not touch anything. He didn't even hit the inside wall, so good a job to him. But again, Andy Oakley in the 53 bringing out our first caution here on lap number, I believe it was about 23 when it came out. So 77 laps to go, and we've only had one caution so far.
And everybody going to come down pit road, except for it looks like, who's that still out there on the track? That would be
Rachel Hunt not going to go to pit road, but she was a lap down, so she couldn't come to pit road actually. She is coming down pit road now. So once she comes down here, we'll take a look. Did she actually lead a lap? She did not. She did get her lap back, but now she's having to come to pit road. So as soon as she does right there, Aaron Maspero will regain the lead.
Actually, it did give her a lap lead. She does have a lap lead.
Interesting. Not sure. Oh, it does. It's weird.
She crossed the line in pit road before Aaron Maspero took it over, so she will get a lap lead.
We may have to take a look at our overlays. We do apologize on the driver bar. Take a look. Maybe I'm on the wrong person here. That might help things too. We'll get over to Rachel Hunt if we can find her. There she is. Indeed, there we go. We apologize. I was clicked on the wrong person. But she does indeed get credited with the lap, so you are correct. Apparently, I make sure I've clicked on the right driver. That will help things. Oh, she gets credited. She's led a lap, so, you know, all this could play a factor in here. Right now, Chuck Kemper and Brian Jones have not led a lap. So, as far to my knowledge, we haven't seen them involved in any little bumps or scrapes, so they should have their clean bonus point for having a clean car if they finish this race. But again, that's the only bonus point they'll get. Rachel Hunt has led one, so this could get very interesting if those two get tangled up here.
Yes, sir. It could get very interesting as Aaron Maspero and Chuck Kemper are going to be starting side by side again up here on the front row, the 41 and the 40. So, you know, see how they get a start on here. But the pace car does dive in. And as they wait for the green flag is out. They're racing yet again here at Five Flags.
It's side by side, and they'll stay that way for a while. But these guys really want to get single filed out. They don't want to stay side by side for long. The more they do, the more these tires get worn out. As you're seeing a huge battle right now between your two guys. It looks like it's going to be Landon Heidi going around, and Rachel Hunt getting involved, as well as Aaron. Or no, that's not. And that is Andy Oakley. So let's go back and take a look. Let's take a look here. It is indeed. And Landon Heidi already had some damage on that truck. So not sure what happened here. We're going to take a look, see if we can't figure it out. Try to figure out what happened to him. It looks like we had some stacking up going. Oh, it looked like the 87 came down just a little bit and getting collected. Got spun by the 12, but again, it looked like the 87 and may have come down just a little bit to collect the 12 of Caleb Weekly.
And there were several cars involved in that after the fact. Rachel Hunt involved in that, and I believe Jason Deere was involved, and Andy Oakley in the 53, and of course the 87 of Landon Heidi was involved in that as well.
So several cars on pit road right now. We still have looks like about 10 or 11 cars on the lead lap. We have several cars on pit road right now. Rachel Hunt's actually coming back out of pit road. She is one lap down. She's going to just stay one lap down, as Landon Heidi is currently on the lead lap if he can get out of pit road before those guys come by, as it looks like he is going to do so. So he'll stay on the lead lap. So 12 out of the 14 guys on the lead lap right now. Jason Deere looks like he's going to be on pit road for quite a while, with already about 3.5, almost 4 minutes worth of repairs.
You know, the product of short track racing is, you've got to get the cars wove down to dodge wrecks, and if you don't, you're going to hit very, very hard into the either car in front of you that wrecked, or the wall, or something, and you can get some very significant damage even on short tracks, as these trucks are still pushing, speeds of in the triple digits, but they also have to get them wove down going around the corners, and of course on pit road as well. Pit road speed, though, 35 miles an hour, so if you're pitting under green flag conditions, you have got to get that sucker down to 35, or you will get a speeding penalty. Of course, pace car speed 45 miles an hour. They should get the one to go, as they come by. You have to wait and see. But it looks like everybody is either back on the track or still getting damage fixed. Jason Deere is still getting damage fixed, but I believe everybody else is on the track.
Definitely is. And while we have about a half lap here, real fast, we want to thank all the sponsors real fast again. Of course, Sim Speed Shop, HRE Motorsports, Elite 7 Racing, and Ohio IndyCar League on the racing side of things. And of course, on the MaxSpeedTV side of things, on the racing side, big shout out to TJ Woodworking, the championship sponsor, and the title sponsor, T&D Rustic Decor. Again, big shout out to all of them coming on board as the pace car is diving off one more time. So everybody get ready. Green flag is out. We're racing on lap 35 of 100 here at Five Flag Speedway.
The thing you don't want to see on a short track here is going three wide, because I don't think Five Flags can hold 3 wide very good.
No, it cannot. This track is way too skinny for going 3 wide. It doesn't work out too well for anybody. We're still going 3 wide back here for Chuck Kemper and Carl Haas, who's made his way up to the front here on the outside. But he's got company coming from Ed Sauls and the youngster, of course, Brett Osborne, trying to get into the mix, currently running in 7th. So he has gained 1 spot since our last time we talked about him. So he's slowly but surely making his way to the front of this field.
Yes, he is. Picking them off one at a time, as I'm looking on Carl Hayes there, battling the number 9 of Brett Osborne. That 96 machine out there is making it stick, and he gets loose.
Oh, can he hang on to it? Oh, he nosedives it into the wall. Green flag, and there comes the caution flag. Really no need to go back and look at that one too much. We were right there on him when he did it. Just got it loose all by himself on the outside. and just broke loose on him, and trying to correct it, just slammed it nose first into the outside wall.
Yeah, and he's going to have some significant damage. He's going to have a blown motor. If he hasn't used his reset, well, unfortunately for Carl, he's going to have to use it to get that truck back out there and on the track. Good thing, though, he doesn't have to tow. He is going to take it into pit road. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, why he didn't go in, but...
my only guess is, not to cut you off real fast, pit road may be closed. He may not be able to go in yet.
Yeah, you do got a point there. In a situation like that, I would probably end up taking go to the end of the longest line.
Yeah, definitely, but he is going to pull in this time. So we'll see if that car just magically repairs itself. He will use his fast repair, as he's going to pull it to a stop, and we'll see if he is going to be able to use it or not, as everyone else is going to be staying out, it looks like. I'm not sure. Oh, he is done for the day. He must have already used it, as he is just disconnected from the race. So, again, he picked it up and called it a day here tonight. So interesting, I guess maybe he had already used his fast repair, as now the race lead belongs to Doug Pickering.
Yeah, Doug's going to lead 3 laps. He'll lead about 4 or 5 before they get to restart. Of course, Aaron Maspero is still dominating the laps led of 37. But Rachel Hunt did pick up that bonus point with 1 lap. I still wouldn't count her out. She is still out here on the lead lap. Still wouldn't count out that number 16 machine out there. Brian Jones, fighting for that championship. He's currently up here running in second. Still has not yet led a lap. But I wouldn't put it past him to fight his way back up front. Maybe to lead a lap might kind of back it off a little bit. But we're almost halfway done already.
Yeah, it definitely is. And real fast, while we have a break here, we do want to remind everyone, of course, whether you're watching myself, Charles, of course, Josh, Rudy, KR, whoever it is, we have some great racing always on MaxSpeedTV. So definitely, if you're new here tonight, have never been on the channel, just checking it out for the first time, if you want to see more great racing, hit that subscribe button. And if you like the race itself, definitely hit that thumbs up button. I believe later on tonight, Josh, you'll be doing the ECR League. So another great race. I believe Rudy will be doing SRA trucks, I do believe. So a lot of great racing still coming on here tonight. We may be the sun shining here in real life, but it won't be by the time y'all start racing.
Yep, pace car dives in here at Five Flags, though, and they're off green flag racing again. Yeah, there's several broadcasts going on tonight. Not to take away from what's going on right now. Oh, we got a car into the wall. And
take a look. Not sure who it was. It Caleb Weekly in the 12. He's off pace right now. Or he was there for a minute. He's back rolling. So go back up to your leader. Doug Pickering still out front as a caution is going to come out. Oh, and it's Brian Jones involved. Chuck Kemper, I don't know if he's involved or just stopped in time. Let's go back and take a quick look. Oh, in that caution there, not sure if Chuck Kemper got involved, but that was our 2 top points guys right there. It looks like Brian Jones may have tried to make a pass on the outside, and it did not stick.
Oh, it looks like the 21 and who was that on the inside? The number 81 made contact with each other, and that's what spun the 21 around. And then the 9 gets involved, the 87 gets involved, and it was just a big pile up from there.
It was indeed. Several cars going to be getting some damage. Yeah, like I said, the 81 may have just got into the 21. So again, that is not going to be good for your points leader, Brian Jones. But good news is, as we're watching here, we'll go back up to live. Everybody's on pit road right now. So good news for Brian Jones is Chuck Kemper's on pit road as well. So that is a bonus for him, kind of, that he is on pit road with him. So they both got damage. So it's not really a good thing for any of them, but the effect that, you know, if you're having a bit of bad luck right now, so is the person chasing you in the points. That's probably the only silver lining to all this.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, being on pit road together is probably the best thing. I'm not sure exactly what would happen if one came in and the other one didn't, but, you know, they both come in at the same time. They both had damage was involved in that accident. So, you know, might as well just get the damage looked at, see what needs to be taken care of, and then get back out on track.
Indeed, as we look now, Chuck Kemper is being scored in 7th. Brian Jones back in 10th place. As we'll put up our other ticker real fast here. Again, to give all you guys an idea of who is in the championship hunt. It's mixing it up. Really, the main two we're going to be watching are the 40 of Chuck Kemper and the 21 of Brian Jones. Brian Jones going to be at the back of the pack right now. 3 cars ahead of him is Chuck Kemper. So it's going to be anyone's guess, as we are actually just at the halfway point here with Doug Pickering leading this time by to start lap 51. We will be officially at the halfway point. So I'm really guessed who's going to win here. Obviously, I'm not sure if we do have any of our sponsors in here. I know TJ Woodworking likes to tune in and watch. So does T&D Rustic Decor. So if y'all are here, I'm sure y'all are going to be rooting for Chuck Kemper as he is running your logos on that truck. But if you are here, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody tuning in here tonight, as it looks like the green flag is just about ready to come back out. There it is. Green flag is back in the air. And we are racing once again here on lap 52 of 100. And the question is, who is going to win? As Josh just stepped away for a moment, but we will be he'll be right back here shortly. I just have to take care of one thing for us here on the MaxSpeedTV channel. But right now, Doug Pickering is out front with a huge lead over second place of Aaron Maspero right now in the 41, followed by Scott Page, another brand new driver to the series. He has raced before, but not very many here, as I believe it's only maybe his second or third race here, so he is putting a huge run together here tonight, sitting in third place. Why not here while we watch our leader pull away? Let's go run through the top 5 real fast. Again, after 54 laps, it is Doug Pickering, Aaron Maspero, Scott Page, Trey Galgon, and Chuck Kemper. Those are your top 5 drivers at the moment. So again, you're watching the T&D Short Track Series. This is the championship race presented by MaxSpeedTV.com. And it looks like we may have a battle. Aaron Maspero trying to run down your race leader, Doug Pickering.
Yeah, he is trying to run him down very, very quickly. Aaron wants the lead back. You know, he wants the lead back. And, of course, he wants to beat Brian Jones and Chuck Kemper both, as he is also fighting for that championship as well. So, you know, right now, the guys that are really fighting up front, you know, Aaron Maspero, who's currently third in points, Chuck Kemper back here running in a third. He is a second in points, and Brian Jones, he is, where is Brian at? Oh, there he is. He is running back here in the 7th spot, trying to make his way back up front to hopefully pull out the victory in the championship here tonight as well. So that's where the top 3 guys are at.
He is indeed, and there's only he's ahead of him by 3 spots. I do believe if he wants to pull the championship, he needs to get him by 5. So if he was to stay right where he is for Brian Jones, which he just gained 1 spot, Chuck Kemper needs to win this race right now as they run anyway. Again, that is how they run. Looking here, looking at the running order here with the championship contender, you see first and third, Maspero in the championship hunt as well. But right now, based on how they run, this race looks like it's probably going to go, or the championship will go to Brian Jones, even with his kind of bad luck. He did use a fast repair, but, you know, he's had a bit of bad luck, but he's still right there in 5th. And it looks like it will go to him for the championship. Chuck Kemper trying to do everything he can, but he just needs to gain a few more spots and kind of hope that Brian Jones will lose a couple of spots if he wants to secure that championship here tonight.
Yes, he does. You know, I thought I lost you there for a moment. I had something going on with TeamSpeak and iRacing, and yeah, it's we'll get that all figured out. But yeah, I mean, he's wanting to win the championship. I'm sure everybody out here is just wanting to have a good race. You know, short track racing and short track racing at its finest, pretty much. You know, a lot of beating and banging out there, but not really too many cautions per se. You know, 4 cautions roughly is what we've had so far, but I believe the first one was just a self-spin. You know, it's you not getting the car wound down or the truck wound down and then hitting the gas too quickly, and of course you'll spin it. But yeah, you know, I look at Aaron Vespero out here in the 41 machine has got a 1.8 second lead, now 1.9, almost 2 second gap on Doug Pickering. Doug, I don't know if he's got anything for Aaron.
Yeah, I'm just not sure either. And interesting here, Brent Day just connected to TeamSpeak, so he is a little late to the race, about 52 minutes to be exact. We're already 68 laps in here as Aaron Vespero is about to come across the line to start, or there he is on lap 69. On the backstretch, fixing to get ready to start lap 70. So we're closing in on 30 to go as a caution is going to come out for Brett Osborne this time. Go back and take a look here and see what happened. It looked like we had Andy Oakley involved as well. So we'll see what happened to involve these two. Not sure if Brett scooted up or if maybe Andy Oakley just got loose. Oh no, the 81 of Ed Sauls is actually, was already spun, and those two just had nowhere to go there. And so we'll go back here just a little bit more right there. Ed Sauls was spinning, collects the 53 and the 9 together. So actually the caution will be credited to Ed Sauls in the 81. Hopefully we have not lost you there, Josh. I know we're having some technical difficulties today. Taking a look here, it looks like Scott Page, we'll see if he gets credited with a lap led. He will indeed. So Scott Page leading his first lap ever in the series.
No, I'm still here.
Well, let's see here. Can't get a word in. Maybe we can get a word in with Ed Sauls real fast. Ed Sauls, you got a copy?
I do.
Well, I'm not sure what happened there. We saw you at the tail end of your spin there. Did the car just break loose, or did you get into that inside wall to cause that spin?
Nah, I broke loose on that.
Oh, we've seen several people that have just kind of broke loose. Is it a trend down there? We haven't got to get in with the pits too much. But how is it kind of slick out there? Is there a whole lot of grip anywhere?
There's grip out there. It's just I've been all race. I've been tight in and loose off. There was a couple times there I slid up, but you know, it was just coming off the corner and heavy in the gas there.
Well, that is unfortunate. Good to see you here, though, not having to work today. Hopefully you can get back out there and get some more laps logged in and not have to call it a night. But the pace car is about ready to pull off, so we'll get you back down to the pits, and hopefully you can get those repairs done and get back out here.
All right, thank you.
All right, again, that was Ed Sauls driving the number 81 here tonight, just breaking loose and collecting a few guys with him. Again, this is kind of part of the short track racing kind of thing, as it looks like we're getting ready there to get the green flag one more time. restart is in the air. And this is going to get interesting here as we have only 25 laps left here in the race.
Yes, we do. And, you know, the interesting thing is Chuck Kemper now is fighting his way. He is now up to the 3rd spot. He has got his eyes set on Doug Pickering in the number 17 machine. Brian Jones also fighting his way up front in the number 21 machine. Brian Jones and Chuck Kemper 1 and 2 in the points. So, you know, they're going to battle it out to the end right here. Aaron the Sparrow, though, still leading the race. He's dominated most of the laps here today with 56 so far, and he is looking to capitalize even some more as he's going to take 57 laps led on that one. I don't think he can be beat on the laps led. I think he's got that pretty much in the books. So, you know, good for Aaron the Sparrow on that, but I'm sure he's just wanting to capitalize with the win as well to hopefully mess the points up just a little bit. But Chuck Kemper and Brian Jones, man, they're still right here neck and neck together in the 3rd and 4th spot. I expect some people to make some moves here in just a minute.
Yeah, definitely his laps are closing down, 20 to go this time by. Really, right now, what we're keeping an eye on is Brian Jones. He wants to get by Chuck, but the thing is, he doesn't have to get by him. All he's got to do is stay within a close enough distance of him to not let him get away. So as long as he can hold off the rest of the field and just, you know, kind of ride on the coattails of the 40 of Chuck Kemper and just kind of, you know, hang right there with him. You don't got to try to pass him. Unless you're just that much faster and you can get by him pretty easy. Don't wear out your tires. Just hang tight and, you know, just ride right there behind him. And you'll be safe. As long as he's only 1 spot ahead of you. You both, so far, have not led a lap. You can't lead the most laps at this point. And both of them have been collected in an incident, so neither one of them are going to get that bonus point for that. So really, there's only 1 bonus point up for grabs, and that is, of course, to lead a lap. So that's the only point that really matters. So unless something happens to Brian Jones right now in the 21, he pretty much has kind of secured his championship here tonight.
Yes, he does. You know, he just got to be patient. He just got to stay right where he's at and just, you know, drive his race.
Yep, that is going to be the key here tonight, is just to drive smooth, and he will walk away as your champion. So we'll definitely be getting a word in with him and Chuck, as they will be 1 and 2 in the points, on top of you know, our top 3 interviews as well. But again, just to kind of recap here, only a few drivers out of the race right now. Ed Sauls is back out on the track now, sitting in currently 9th position. Andy Oakley out of the race. Brett Osborne out of the race. Landon Heide, he's been on pit road for almost 14 minutes, but he has not backed it up just yet. Carl Hayes is as well out of the race, and Jason Deere. So four drivers out of this race right now. Still 9 on track, and 10 if you count Landon Heide on pit road.
Yeah, Landon Heide is still sitting on pit road. I'm not sure exactly, you know, what's going on with him. He may be done for the evening, but I'm not entirely sure. But, you know, 12 laps to go. You know, it's almost to the end of the race. Now 11 as they cross the line.
Yeah, 10 laps to go. There is probably a good chance as Landon Heide's 43 laps down right now. He probably won't be able to make it out in time. But Aaron Maspero, he is dominating right now over, I believe they are teammates, Doug Pickering. But look who's right in front of him, though. That is Rachel Hunt, who currently is on the lead lap, but she's a threat of going down a lap here, as Aaron Maspero is going to pass her at the line here and put her 1 lap down, and Doug Pickering is going to get by her as well. So it looked like she let them by too hard. She's not going to hold them up for the race lead, as they're now going to put Caleb Weekly 1 lap down as well.
Yep, they're getting, lap traffic, but, a lot of respect given out there to these guys. The guys and girls know that, they don't really have a chance right now. They're just letting the leaders go by. Good run this season, though, for the number 16 machine, Rachel Hunt, though. She had a very good run, and I'm sure she's going to be looking at next season, too, as well. Maybe even a better run for her coming out here on, the short tracks. So, great run for her. Right now, she's I'm sure, just wanting to finish.
Definitely indeed. And one we haven't talked about a whole lot today, that is the 49 of Trey Galgon. He is currently sitting in 5th position. He's all over the back bumper of Brian Jones. He wants to get by him if he can to try to get the win. And he is doing a fantastic job of putting on the pressure of getting by him. But even if he passes him, Brian probably doesn't have a good shot of winning this race here with 5 laps to go. Not as fast as Aaron and Doug are right now. So, if Trey puts too much pressure on, you may see him just wave to him by, let him go. There's no need in putting too much pressure on yourself. Just let him go. Either way, it's one spot, it's 1 point. It's not going to hurt you overall in the standings, not at this point. And somebody is smoking. Not sure who that is.
That would be the number 12 of Caleb Weekly.
So something happened to Caleb Weekly. He gets into the wall. We don't want to stay on him too much. Jumping to the front. It's already 2 laps to go here. Oh, this race going by very, very quickly here, as we are just over an hour. About an hour and 2 minutes since we started. 20 of that, of course, being practice and 5 being qualifying. As Aaron Maspero is going to take it to the line this time by, and he will be your official race winner. Checkered flags are waving, and right there he will be your race winner here tonight. So Aaron Maspero taking it 5 races in a row here tonight.
That was a dominating race by Aaron Maspero, and of course, congratulations on 5 in a row by him. That's a milestone right there.
It is indeed, and don't want to take the spotlight away from him too much. So before we get to the post-race show here, we are going to kind of step away here. As you see, we have 2 donuts going on here. Not a whole lot of room for donuts. Brian Jones knows he's the champion, so he's going to do some donuts as well for winning the championship. And, also Aaron Maspero going to do some donuts, so we'll switch to both here so we can get kind of both of them covered here as far as victories go. We don't want to take the spotlight again away from the race winner here too much, that he is doing his victory lap. Meanwhile, Brian Jones going to do some donuts on the front stretch. Aaron Maspero is going to pull its pit road, so he's done with his. Brian Jones still celebrating, actually going backwards, doing backwards donuts here. That does it for the race here, so let's get to the post-race show. We'll be right back here in just a few moments with your official post-race show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with your post-race show from Five Flags Speedway. Coming in, third place was the number 40 of Chuck Kemper, and it looks like we do have him here with Josh Medlock. He did catch up with him on pit road, so Josh, will hand the mic over to you.
Number 40 Chuck Kemper, you got a copy.
I got you, buddy.
Hey, Chuck, man. Well, you started second out there, got into some accidents out there. You tried to fight your way up front, give Brian Jones a run. try to get the race win tonight. Talk about the, coming into the ninth race, what you had to do to, keep it clean and just make for a great finish and hopefully, pull out the championship, bud.
Yeah, I don't know. The talent level in this league is phenomenal. You can't come in anticipating anything. You pretty much just take what you're given. I the last couple of races I got out of my comfort zone and was doing some things I shouldn't have. Fortunately, Brian would get caught up in some stuff at the same time. It was kind of weird how that happened for the most of the season. First and foremost, congratulations to Brian. What a great season he had. And Aaron, oh my God, dude, if he hadn't missed a race, he'd have spanked us all. So he's been strong all season. I think that's like the 5th win. So, hey, just enough about me. I am so proud of this league and the drivers that we've got. It's, if this was on, I wasn't racing and just was stuck on YouTube, I would watch this race every Sunday. These guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. It is outstanding in, for short track racing. A lot of bumping and banging out there, but for the most part, short track racing is pretty clean. Of course, you came into the night second in points. You did finish ahead of Brian in the race here, but unfortunately that wasn't enough, to solidify the championship. But congratulations on finishing third here in this race. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to put you into the final point standings. That won't be determined until after everything's all said and done. But great run, Chuck, for this season. You looking forward to next season?
Without a doubt. I think we have some better tracks, a little more wide open for the majority of them. I think they're going to be really racy. And I want to thank MaxSpeedTV and you and Charles. You put on a heck of a show. You can see that by the fans we have. Almost 200 spectators every race. And of course, I want to thank TJ Woodworking for doing the plaques. Can't wait to see Brian's. It's going to be pretty doggone nice. We'll add it to the collection we have on the website. And my sponsor, T&D Rustic Decor. Thanks for their support as well.
Well, all right, Chuck. Well, congratulations, on third tonight.
Thanks,
hopefully
buddy.
next season you can, maybe, beat Aaron at his own game. Aaron the Sparrow down there, coming in with, 5 straight wins. That's a feat in itself. But I'm sure you're thinking about that and kind of going from there. But congratulations on third man here tonight, and just congratulations on a successful run for the championship, man.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Charles.
All right, standing right here with us is Doug Pickering. Again, putting a second place finish together. You did lead 18 laps, and we know y'all work together a lot here, you and Aaron. So the question is, you worked with them. Were you running the same setup, or were you running a little bit different here tonight?
I didn't have a lot of time to put into the set this week, so I think Aaron might have done a few little tweaks from what we did. I did a few little tweaks earlier on in the practice session and continued changing it through the run, through the race. So I think we were, on that last little run, I think we got to about the same point with the car. So, yeah.
Good y'all racing. Definitely put a good run together here. Between the two of you, you led 98 of the 100 laps. So as far as the team goes, that is a pretty dominant performance. And you kept the champion behind you. Again, like Josh said earlier, had y'all not missed a race here or there for life events or whatever came in the way, that does happen, and obviously life does sometimes get in the way, but life comes first before any sim or any game, and we definitely respect that. But had you not missed any at all, you think you could have been sitting here in the championship? I definitely think it would have been a really close battle.
I think if myself and Aaron had managed to run all around, I think Aaron would probably have taken it, and I don't know if I'd have come second, because the guys have been putting in really consistent performances. Chuck whenever he's finishing third or fourth, you know, or even in front of us if some stuff go wrong. So it's a lot about consistency, not just out and out pace, you know.
It definitely is. But again, overall, just such a dominant performance here. Between the two of you, you led 18, he led 80. You didn't leave much room for anybody else, which is what you want to do in racing. Obviously, you don't want to come in second. It's a win is where you really want to be, but to finish second compared to some of the talent that's here, a lot of fast drivers, and coming into second, of course, to your teammate is never a bad way to finish. We know you have some people you want to thank and sponsors, so who would those be here for that second place finish tonight?
Normally I'd thank you know, various sponsors, team, whatever, but I'd like to dedicate Aaron winning in the setup this week to my late father-in-law. So he passed away this week.
All right, well, that is never good to hear when anybody does pass away, so we will give our condolences to that. But again, congrats on a second place finish. Finishing just one spot ahead of him, getting the win here tonight is Aaron Maspero. And Josh, we'll hand it over to you, and we'll let you grab him, and then we will talk to our champion here.
All right, Aaron, you got a copy.
I'm here, man.
Aaron Maspero, 5 in a row, dominating performance this season. You had led the most laps here at Five Flags with 80. Talk about the racing down there, man. What it took to kind of stay out of the trouble. Of course, you started on the pole as well, so you pretty much dominated the race. Of course, it was hard fought battling down there throughout the whole race. Just you know, talk about what it took to come into the night and make a dominating performance at what you did here at Five Flags.
Yeah, well, first off, just thanks to Doug again, and obviously he did a tough week with his father-in-law, but he came up with an awesome new concept for the setup. So we're running that tonight, which seems to work really well. Start of the race. It was quite straightforward. I got, as always on short track, I got a little bit lucky when Brian and Ed got into it in front of me, and I just managed to get through there. And then yeah, it was just keeping my head and making sure I didn't put it in the wall, to be honest.
Well, talk about the you know, the track conditions. I mean, some people were saying that it was a little slick out there, you know, tight going in, loose coming out. What was the conditions like for you as the race went on?
Yeah, it didn't change that much, to be honest. Track, I didn't chase the setup at all during the run. We were quick, so we just left it where it was. Problem with this place is there's such a big bump into turn 3, and if you hit it wrong, it just sends you up the track or sends you sideways, depending on your setup. And from there, you're always fighting the car. So really, it was just about avoiding that and keeping it smooth.
Well, all right, Aaron. Well, man, congratulations yet again on the win tonight here at Five Flags Speedway. And like I said, you dominated the race with 80 lead laps. So, you know, you've got the most out of that one. But, you know, before I let loose and turn it over to Charles, I want to send my condolences out to Doug and, you know, their family. And you know, we'll be praying for you guys. And, you know, it's rough. I understand it's, you know, losing somebody is rough, you know, no matter who it is. So my condolences to Doug and all that. So, Charles, do you have the championship winner?
I do indeed. We don't actually have a championship graphic, so we're just going to pull up the driver bar here. But we are talking to your champion, Brian Jones. So, Brian Jones, you got a copy.
I got you.
Well, first off, we have the official points in here. You know, they are confirmed. 2 points over Chuck Kemper here. 326 points to 324. So you squeaked it out at the end. Again, we saw both of you get involved in a wreck there early, but both of you recovered from it, and you managed to come away with a 2-point lead. So how does it feel to be the 2018 Season 1 champion?
Well, it's great. I don't get to win too many races on iRacing and just in general, but I like short track racing, and Five Flags is one of my favorite tracks to race at. And luckily, we went there twice this season. I just want to thank Chuck and everybody that's racing this season. It was a great season, and you can just tell, you know, 2 points separated us. We were really close on the track, and it just showed.
Well, it definitely did. It was competitive all season long. So speaking of that, we have the money race coming up on the 25th. So you get a bit of a week off here. You get to rest, work on your setups for the money race for league members, and then we come back to season 2 starting on, I believe, the 8th of April. Obviously, we're going to take off for April Fools, and I believe it's Mother's Day as well or something like that. Someday, some holiday, I know it's coming up. But we're going to take off for that, so we're going to take a week there to break before we get ready. But looking forward to season 2. Are you ready to get back behind the wheel and see if you can't back up your championship here with another championship?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to season 2 for sure. I've seen some of the tracks that we're going to be racing at, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to Richmond, I know that. Really changed it up compared to some of the tracks we went to this season. Unfortunately, I'll be missing one of the weeks to go to the Texas Cup race, but I'm sure Aaron Maspero will continue his dominance, and everybody else will, have a great season.
Definitely, I think it'll be a good season. So we'll see how that all plays itself out going forward. Anyway, we'll see if you can kind of win. Can't think of the word here. Come back and win back-to-back championships. We believe maybe Chuck has done it in the past. I'm not sure if he has. But either way, we'll see. We'll look to the vaults and see what we can't find. If it hasn't happened before, maybe you could be the first. If it has, you could be the second to do so here in the series. But any sponsors or shout-outs you want to give for the good finish here, 4th place, top 5, and coming home with the championship?
Yeah, first and foremost, I just want to thank all you guys at MaxSpeedTV for broadcasting the race. It was a great season, and I just want to thank Jalopnik for paying the bills, and T&J Woodworking, and T&D Rustic Decor.
All right. Well, again, congrats on winning the championship. We will be getting that plaque sent in soon to TJ Woodworking to have it made for you, and we'll get your address and all that and get it shipped out. But again, we're not done just yet. We still have 2 more pieces of business to take care of. So, Josh, if you don't mind, so again, since we don't have too many here, if you want to run it through those unofficial race results for us, we will get that up on the overlays.
Alrighty, yeah, we can do the unofficial. Now, this is unofficial. Everything will be determined by the admins, but as what we see right now, Aaron Maspero going to be coming home with the win tonight in first place. So congratulations again, Aaron, for grabbing the win. Doug Pickering going to be coming in second. Chuck Kemper in third. Brian Jones going to finish the race 4th, but he is going to come home with the championship for the season. So congratulations, Brian, for that one. Coming home tonight in 4th place. Trey Galgon in 5th. Scott Page going to be coming finishing this race in 6th. Rachel Hunt, great season for her. She is going to finish the race in 7th. Caleb Weekly in 8th. Ed Sauls 9th. Andy Oakley will finish this race in 10th. Brett Osborne in 11th. Landon Heidi in 12th. Carl Hayes in 13th. Jason Deere will finish in 14th spot.
Again, that will wrap it up here, minus all the sponsors. So again, a big shout out to simspeedshop.com for jumping on board here with MaxSpeedTV. If you're looking to up your sim racing experience by just that little edge, go check them out on their Facebook page at SimSpeedShop or at simspeedshop.com for a great looking custom button box. HRE Motorsports and Elite 7 Racing, 2 teams here that keep us going on MaxSpeedTV by donations or whatever it is they do at the time, just different stuff, help us going here, all the support they give us. And Ohio IndyCar League, big shout out to them for coming on board. If you are in the Ohio club and you're looking to do some great racing, if you're on iRacing, check them out. We'll be broadcasting them later this year. Of course, the championship sponsor award we just talked about, that is going to be done by TJ Woodworking. So big shout out to TJ Woodworking for jumping on board. We will make sure we'll get those plaques posted. We have the Dirt Series one, but we don't want to reveal that just yet until we know the winner has got it, so that we do not spoil that surprise for him. And of course, the title sponsor for this series, the Dirt Series, and of course the new series coming on is T&D Rustic Decor. Big shout out to them for coming on board for the last, I believe, 3 to 4 seasons. They have been here with us, so again, a big shout out to them for that. But that will do it here for the T&D Rustic Decor Short Track Series Championship Race. Josh, any final words before we sign off for the night?
Just congratulations to everybody out there for a hard-fought season. I'm looking forward to next season as well, being up in the booth, Charles. So thank you for allowing me to help you with these short track races. I do enjoy it. I enjoy calling the races, I should say. But get ready for next season, folks, because it's going to be just as interesting as this one was. I guarantee you.
It definitely will. And again, that just about does it here. So again, as always, on behalf of MaxSpeedTV and all the sponsors and T&D Short Track Series, we want to hope you have a great day, and we should have a good holiday coming up. Sure, we ain't too long till we will have one. Of course, Mother Day is coming up, Easter coming up, April Fools, all those good holidays coming up. So those will be here before you know it. If we don't see you before then, obviously have a safe rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back here shortly with another couple of races.